What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from manufacturers such as Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium here on the campus of Taylor University for today's non-league women's soccer matchup between the Indiana Tech Warriors and the Taylor Trojans. The Trojans come in 5-1 on the year. Indiana Tech comes in a perfect 4-0. But the Trojans trying to play without two of their top midfielders tonight, without no Danielle Torn and no Hannah Martinez, both dealing with lower body injuries. So the changes in the starting lineup, Jordan Lehman and Laura Claddy come into their spots. Two young ladies that have had plenty of experience starting the majority of their careers until 2019 here this year. Taylor coming off of a 1-0 victory 2 nights ago at Olivet Nazarene, team receiving votes in the most recent top 25 poll. Trojans attacking the goal to our right there in the home whites with purple numbers and purple letters trimmed in gold. Indiana Tech in the black jerseys with white numbers trimmed in orange. And the white shorts tonight for the Warriors of Indiana Tech. They've outscored their opponents 9-3 this year, have the Warriors. The Trojans have outscored opponents 18-4. And leading the charge in the last couple of matches, the last two to be specific, has been Kate Kortenhoven with 2 goals and an assist in the last 2 contests. She assisted on the go-ahead goal here to Riley Massey, then scored what will end up being the game-winning goal for Taylor against Concordia a couple days ago. She had the only goal in the 1-0 win 2 nights ago. Pass into the box from Tevens, bouncing and snagged by Ali Zenda, the keeper tonight for Indiana Tech. Zenda has started 3 contests for Indiana Tech this year. 2 goals allowed, 9 saves. For the Trojans, they send out Megan Williams, and for the first time on Wednesday night, or Wednesday afternoon, Taylor did not make the goalie switch at the half with Williams and Camerano, so it looks like Williams has solidified herself as the starting keeper for Taylor here in 2019. Megan has allowed just 1 goal this year, 12 saves, and a 3-0 record. Taylor on a nice little winning streak here since falling in their only game of the year at Northwestern Ohio on the road, one of the top teams annually in the NAIA. And Taylor will have a nice little home stretch upcoming here after today. They'll be here with Georgetown next week and then Spring Arbor a week after that, after the 18th, for the first conference match of 2019. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right, the forwards Tevens, Davis, and Claudio. The midfielders for TU, Lindley 2, Jordan Lehman and Laura Claddy, as we mentioned. The back line, the normal cast of folks in Hannah Waltz and Riley Massey on the outside backs. The center backs are Hannah Dempsey and Raina Williams. Ball to the far side of the field. Claude Joe lets it roll out. And Sydney Lemelin will let it roll out. And Indiana Tech will throw it in. Their starters, Sam Fifield, Molly Ames, Megan Clifton, Kayla Safran, Elena Monroe, Danny Blagovich, Lily Rothert, Bailey Elliott, Lemelin, as we mentioned, and Kristen Rowe. Top goal scorer for Indiana Tech, well, there's two of them, and Megan Clifton with a pair and Lily Rothert with a pair as well. Taylor holds this one in. Tevens in the box. Claudio tried to smack it out of the air with her left foot. It's cleared away by the defense of Indiana Tech to the far side of the field, but Taylor with some early pressure here, trying to get the early tally like they did early on a couple of days ago. So that game, goal late in the first half, I should say, on Wednesday afternoon. Lehman back into the box, far side. Too far for Davis to get to on a turnaround try from Jordan Lehman. It goes out, and we'll have a goal kick here for the first time tonight from Ali Zenda. Zenda, I should say, with a Z, not an S. A hot one as we start things here tonight. Temperature at around 85 degrees. Lights are already on as long shadows start to cast themselves out with the sun setting behind us here in the press box. Those shadows casting out on the field in front of us. Artificial surface here at Turner Stadium. And the newly renovated field, just about 7 or 8 years old. Used to be a natural grass field before almost a decade ago where the renovations happened. And the new press box added to finish those renovations. And it's a top facility for both football and like we have tonight with soccer. Cloudy keeps the ball in here for Taylor into space on the left side to Hannah Waltz as Taylor attacks the goal to our right. Waltz will bang it back to the near side, and Massey will slip it back to Dempsey. The freshman out of Colorado, the sophomore state champion out of Ohio, Riley Massey. Lehman, a one-touch on. Davis will knock it down, and this is her specialty. To the end line, she'll cross it in. Trying to crash in was two. Sent away by Indiana Tech before two could put her on frame. Tevens, two, and Kortenhoven all with a pair of goals this year, but they're all chasing Claudio and Massey, who lead the way with 3 apiece. Massey's 3 goals on a couple of headers. And then that rocket, that was the number 3 NAI top play of the week last week. And 2 will step in. She'll shove Rothert from behind, trying to go for the ball. And Lindley gets called for the first foul of the night. 2 out of China, a 2-time captain for 2 different national teams out there in China, U21 and U18. And then before she came here to Taylor about a year and a half ago, spent time with the full national team in December before she came here in January. Ball bounces in, snagged by Williams on a try from the right side by Indiana Tech. Looks like it might have been shot in by Elena Monroe there on the right side. Monroe, Safran, and Rowe are the 3 forwards tonight for Indiana Tech. Blagovich sends her high in the air. Lehman sends it right back to Blagovich, her counterpart wearing number 9 tonight for Indiana Tech. Lemelin forward, finding the feet of Monroe, trying to dance away from Waltz on the right side of the field with Indiana Tech shooting on the goal to our left. Williams comes back to help Waltz. Staying with the ball at her feet is Monroe. Her pass deflected away by Cloudy. It finds Lehman at the midfield, and she'll punch it forward to the center circle before Fifield's able to haul it in. Ball sent to the near side of the field. Massey will throw it in for TU in front of the Indiana Tech bench. The Warriors out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Davis accelerating right edge of the box. Will play it back to her left on a fancy footwork move. Now tries to spin away from trouble. She wants the end line, trying to get there. Goes behind her feet again. She's pulled down in the penalty area. Taylor's fans look for a foul that won't come. Lehman dances away to the end line. Into the box the pass goes. It's volleyed out of play by Indiana Tech right past the main gate to Turner Stadium. And the Trojans will have the first corner kick of the evening. And Aaron Tevens will take it from the near side of the field. In, trying to find Massey's head. She was right there in perfect position, but headed away to the far side post. And it goes out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for Zenda in Indiana Tech. So give Molly Ames the only shot tonight for the Warriors. That one from the far side of the field. Lehman heads it back in, then rifled away by Blagovic. It rolls all the way to the defensive end. The only one there is the Taylor keeper, Megan Williams, and she'll pick it up about 5 yards inside the box. Good punt from Williams. A couple heads around. Now it finds the feet of Lehman. Right edge of the circle. Little flick in by Elliott. Cut away by Lindley, too. Wants to thread it on through to Davis. Was right to the feet of a defender for Indiana Tech. Elliott knocking it forward. The right hip of Massey trying to press it on for TU. Near side of the field. Here comes Claudio sniping it away for Taylor. Two-stepping in. A big first touch. Will send it all the way back to Lemelin of Indiana Tech, and the defender clears it away for the time being. The Warriors hold it in. A nice slide pushing it forward is Clifton. But the Trojans send it right back into where it came from. Davis applying that pressure, sent high in the air by one of the defenders for Indiana Tech. Massey elevates and heads it on into space. Davis will scamper onto it for TU. Slipping it on through to Claudio, top of the box. She'll knife it on. There's two. She'll dribble with it once, twice. Her shot is blocked. It's sent right back, and Davis tried to hold it in with a left foot. A back heel kick, not strong enough to get to Lehman, and it's taken away by Indiana Tech's Lily Rothert. A nice little play there as the ball found Claudio's feet, and two had it, and thought she had a little bit of space, and the shot got blocked after she teed one up from just inside the box. Ball sent over the head of Kayla Safran of Indiana Tech, and Massey will throw it in for Taylor along the near sideline. Off the knee of Davis, Lehman couldn't get to it in time as Rowe touches it back to Safran. In the middle, they find the pesky Monroe, who runs away from Dempsey. Now she'll hit the brakes and move back to her right. She'll try to curl one in. It'll be going over a diving Megan Williams on a spectacular goal by Elena Monroe. And with 35-41 to go here in the opening half, Monroe curls one in from just outside the box to the far post. And Indiana Tech takes a 1-0 lead. Just a pretty goal there by Monroe, her first tally of the year. And Indiana Tech leads 1-0. Taylor trying to come back quickly. Here's Davis on the near side on a pass from two. Right edge of the box, Davis wants to go end line. Want to play behind her feet, crossing it in, diving, stop, and smothering it will be the keeper, Zenda. A quick strike try there for TU. Kayla Safran comes to the near sideline, gets a quick coaching tip from one of the Indiana Tech assistants. Massey plays it deep over the head of Elliott. Claudio right there in her hip pocket. Elliott misplayed it. Claudio trying to jump on it, and she does. Right edge of the box. Claudio works back to her left. One-on-one with Zenda. She kicked it right to her as Zenda popped into the air and snagged it just over her head. First save of the night for Zenda. And the first shot for Taylor. Second one, and the first one on goal. Massey heads it straight into the air. Much taller than Safran, trying to win it. So using that height again. Safran trying to use her speed. Knocked in deep by Massey. Fifield onto it. Her pass goes off the shin of Hannah Davis. And it goes off of whom? It'll go off of Indiana Tech's Kristen Rowe, as both she and Dempsey were right there. Now Dempsey has stepped out of her left shoe, and then she puts it back on. 1-0 Indiana Tech lead, just shy of 11 minutes gone here in half one, on a fantastic goal by Elena Monroe. A little curler to the opposite side as she took it from the left side of the field on the goal to our left. A pretty goal just out of the reach of the athletic Megan Williams. Pass deflected back to the middle by Elliott of Indiana Tech. And the Warriors press it forward. Claddy pressuring Rowe for Taylor, then Claddy comes away with it after some help from two to turn it over. Dempsey operating in the back. Now it's Massey carrying it up the near sideline. Into space, too far for anyone to get to, except the keeper Zenda of Indiana Tech. 2 shots on goal, 2 shots in total for Indiana Tech. Taylor with 2 shots tonight, 1 on goal. And a big first goal of the year for Elena Monroe. 33 minutes left to go in half one. Lehman sending it in deep to the box. And Zenda's the only one there, the keeper for Indiana Tech. She'll scoop it up as Taylor tried to let Davis run in from the near side of the field. The Trojans have actually moved Claudio to the middle, to that center forward spot, and have shifted Tevens out to that left forward position, trying to let her use her speed a little bit. She's not had a lot of passes sent her way tonight as Indiana Tech sends it back into their attacking half. So the final third, Dempsey will dance with it a little bit for Taylor and poke it around Safran. Out by Dempsey, and Indiana Tech will throw it in. Elliott jogs forward and heaves it in towards the top of the box. A 1-0 Indiana Tech lead. That came less than 10 minutes in, and this is a diving punch away by Williams as Indiana Tech tried to go up 2-0. Stellar save by Williams. Taylor with a throw in across from us. That goal just the 5th one allowed by Taylor this year and just the second one that Williams has allowed to get past her. Tevens to her classmate Claudio left sideline. Big first touch. And Claudio chased down from behind by Lemelin, who takes it away and races back up the far side. Long pass to Rothert. Rowe takes Claddy down with her on the pass. Massey touches it back to where the pass came from, but Rowe the first one back to her feet. And she'll pass it along to the far side of the field, and Monroe, the goal scorer. Waltz cuts her off for Taylor, and then Williams, Raina Williams, drives it across, or up that far sideline, Aims onto it, curls it around Tevens. It goes out, and Taylor will throw it in. Just on the doorstep of that final third as they shoot on the goal to our right. Tevens in, Davis trying to find it, and the keeper Zenda comes out and gets to it before everybody else can. On the punt from Zenda, it bounces to the far side of the field and out, and T will throw it in. Rowe turns and sends it towards the middle of the field. Safran there, ushered out of the way by Massey of Taylor. Her pass goes off the hip of Safran and back towards the box. Massey heads it back up to the near side. Davis comes back to help for Taylor. Waltz will curl it forward right to the feet of Lindley, too. 2 to Claudio. Into space. Will 2 get there first? She will not, as it's poked away from her by Lemelin. All 3 shots tonight for Indiana Tech have been on goal. Megan Williams for Taylor has stopped 2 of them, 1 just too far out of her reach. Here's Lehman. She's got Tevens in the middle. The pass just a little bit too far to the right for Tevens to keep running on with. Up that near seam. But Lehman has it back in the middle, directing traffic. Claudio, a touch to the middle. There's 2. Tevens calling for it, just a little bit too short to get to her. Taken away by Fifield of Indiana Tech, and the Warriors trying to send it away from trouble. Clifton to Monroe. Her pass taken away by Taylor's Raina Williams. Here's 2 operating from the midfield. Williams wanted to find Claudio on the left side. Could not, as now she and Tevens have flip-flop spots once again, with Claudio back at that left forward spot and Tevens back at the center forward position. And Emma Walsh, who has a couple of goals to her name this year, will come in for the first time tonight. She'll be the first sub for either team. And remember, Taylor playing tonight without 2 of their top midfielders. One of their top shot producers in Hannah Martinez, who has 13 on the year. That's tied for second most on the team. And their holding midfielder, Danielle Torn, who connects things from the defensive side to the offensive side. So Claddy, and more of that, she and Lehman taking over those 2 positions here this evening. Rowe pops it high in the air with the left foot for Indiana Tech. Massey of Taylor heads it back to where the pass came from. Now it finds the feet of two. A long pass near side. She'll let Davis go run after it. Davis accelerating, right edge of the box. Push from behind, and now both players overrun it, and coming back to get to it is the Indiana Tech defender, Bailey Elliott. Nicely done by Elliott. Stevens in the middle, back to two. One touch, two touch. She'll maneuver to her left, try to dance in. She loses her feet inside the box, and here comes Indiana Tech with a clearance try. Williams a push from behind on Rowe, and there's a foul against Taylor's Raina Williams. The Taylor fans are going to let our officials hear that. They were looking for a foul both on Davis and against two. And I think someone in the stands said actually made our head referee laugh, which is always good. 27-22 remaining in the opening half. Indiana Tech out front 1-0. Taylor 5-1 on the year. The Warriors a perfect 4-0 with a couple of Crossroads League teams. Victims this year, two taken out on a tackle from Danny Blagovic. First foul of the night against Indiana Tech. Stevens with a couple of defenders around her, couldn't get the ball cleanly off the pass, and trying to weave through trouble is Fifield. Cloutey almost took it away from Clifton. Back to the middle in Monroe. Poked away by Taylor's Raina Williams. Overtime wins for Indiana Tech over Crossroads League opponents St. Francis of Fort Wayne and Bethel. Indiana Tech has defeated Governor State, a first-year program, 3-0. The back-to-back OT wins over St. Francis and Bethel. And they defeated Judson back on September 7th, their last time out before tonight. Emma Walsh comes in to get Allie Claudio. It'll be interesting to see when Taylor inserts Kate Kortenhoven, who's been an offensive spark plug for TU the last two matches. To the end line, the throw goes. Stevens one touch off of her foot, but couldn't control it cleanly enough to work it back to her left. And it goes out of play off the end line, and Indiana Tech has a goal kick. They lead 1-0. They're out shooting Taylor 3-2. And all three shots from the Warriors tonight have been on goal. And one has found its way past Megan Williams. On a splendid, splendid shot by Elena Monroe. Lehman knocks it down for Taylor, near edge of the field. A long ball in. Here comes Davis cutting in from the right wing, trying to get a step on the defender, plays it in. She's shoved down on the right edge of the box. And it goes out of play off the end line as Bailey Elliott got in there and collided with Davis. And the play on comes right after Davis played the ball in. Or tried to play it in, I should say. Off the second bounce, Cloutey heads it in. Two trying to work it forward with her right shoulder. She'll usher the defender out of the way. That allows Lehman to come in and pick the ball up for Taylor. Cloutey's pass intended for Lehman, poked away, and here comes Indiana Tech on a quick counter. But the pass in the middle of the field intercepted by Raina Williams. Dempsey fighting for it with the number 7 counterpart, Safran of Indiana Tech. A touchback. Head official had to get out of the way, and he does, and the ball rolls back to Blagovic. 24:40 remaining here in the opening stanza. And the fresh legs of Emma Walsh comes in and wins the ball away. She's shoved out of the way by Blagovic. Taylor comes back and looks for a foul that will not come. Safran's long pass rolls through everybody. Raina Williams trying to box out Monroe and scooped up just in the nick of time by the keeper of Taylor, Megan Williams, before Monroe could have another go at her second goal of the night. Waltz, far side of the field, trying to dance across midfield, now does. Long pass to Walsh, big first touch, and she'll work her way back and win it back for Taylor. Passing to the center circle and Cloutey up to the dynamic Lindley too. Little slithery pass, finds Stevens. Carrying to the middle, now Lehman works back to her left. Pass intended for Stevens was behind her and deflected away by Indiana Tech. Rothard operating right edge of the field. Ames will work it forward. And then Rothard will whiff on the kick. And it goes out of play. And here comes Ann Camille Hardy, better known as AC around these parts. She comes in to get Cloutey. Hardy, the freshman of Wheaton Academy, high school teammates with Aaron Stevens at that stellar soccer program just outside of Chicago. It's been a pipeline for men's soccer players over many, many years. And with Stevens coming in last year, Hardy to follow her. Scott staying in the women's soccer program, trying to make an inroad with a women's soccer program for the dynamic Wheaton Academy. The aforementioned Stevens passed the middle. Davis just a little bit late as she had to try to stay on side. Couldn't edge her way in. And the centering pass is intercepted by Zenda, the keeper. Orman Kortenhoven ready to come in for TU at the next opportunity. Ball bouncing all the way to the other end of the field. Dempsey on top of it for TU as she runs out of the shade into the setting sun. Long pass finds Stevens left sideline. Wanted to send it on to Walsh. Bounces through her, and Fifield pushing it back to the far side. Dempsey trying to step in. Knocked around her by Ames of Indiana Tech. Two coming back and fighting with it with Rowe. Two comes away with it. Up to midfield and Walsh. Stopping and starting and taken away by the extra help defender of Blagovic. Clifton off the side of the shoe. Back to the center circle and Blagovic. And Fifield has it. And now Lemelin. Intercepted by Hardy. Trying to keep pressing it forward. But Indiana Tech finds Safran. Back to the defensive end. Long boot forward. Rainer Williams cuts it off with her left foot. Deflecting far side. Waltz will let it roll out of play. Indiana Tech will have a throw in. Kortenhoven and Orm ready to get going. They'll have to wait their time as the Warriors of Indiana Tech throw it in. Waltz boxing it out far side, rolling off the far side flag. Still trying to see if it'll go out. Instead, they'll turn back into the play. Waltz will win it, and Raina Williams tried to clear it for Taylor. Indiana Tech holds it in. Far side of the box, Clifton. Monroe into the middle. Williams skies for it. Then she loses it and comes back with it. Was able to out-jump Safran. And then she and Safran collided. Williams dropped it and then fell on top of it inside the box. Just outside of the 6-yard box. And now she'll punt it back into play with just about 21 minutes separating us between halftime. Off the back of Lehman's head. Walsh in the middle. Too big of a touch for her. Cleared away by Fifield. Far side to Elena Monroe, who scored the only goal so far tonight. Coming almost just a little less than just over 9 minutes gone in the opening stanza. Stevens, far side. Couldn't get to it before Ames cleared it out away on that far sideline. And here comes Orm and Kortenhoven for TU.
Number 14, Kate Kortenhoven, and number 17, Morgan Orm.
So they'll go get Stevens and Davis. Also coming in for Indiana Tech. Exiting will be Safran. Coming in is number 19, and there is not a number 19 on their roster. We'll have to check and see who that is during the half. So no number 19. Have to check in and see who number 19 is. Waltz throws it in far sideline into Kortenhoven, who has 5 points in her last 3 games. Those all coming in the last 2 games as well, the 2 goals and the assist. Hardy to the middle of the field and Lehman. Back to her left, she works. Into space, 2 kills it. Pressing forward, she'll slip it on through just behind Walsh as she tried to pirouette and keep it in. Lehman on a patch clearance try will hold it in for TU. 2 sets one up, and it's deflected out of play to the end line, and this will be a corner for the Trojans. Same spot we were in here on Saturday where Kortenhoven came from this exact same corner and found the head of Riley Massey, but Taylor back in front 2-1. Well, she tried to find Massey here. Over Massey's head, 2 came crashing in, but it was cleared away before 2 could get to it by Indiana Tech to the far sideline across from us. It'll go off of a Taylor player and be a goal kick. Or no, it'll be a throw-in, for Hannah Waltz. With less than 19 minutes remaining here in this first half of play, Taylor down 1-0. Indiana Tech clears it away. And then Raina Williams knocks it back to Dempsey, the defender. Waltz wants to find Walsh. It went off a defender's foot, and now Walsh has got Green in front of her. Left edge is Walsh. Plays it back and trying to find a trailer in 2. Lindley pressing for it. She'll step through 2 defenders, and then she'll rocket it in, but it's stopped by Zenda. Still loose in the box. Taylor trying to come up with it. The whistle is blown, and a foul comes against Taylor as Lindley, sliced through 2 defenders, then unleashed a bomb that Zenda had to dive and make a stellar stop. Two has been lurking a lot here tonight. It looks like a handball against Taylor. And Indiana Tech will clear it away as there are a couple players on the turf trying to get back to their feet and win it. But two just split 2 defenders easily, hurdled one as well. And now she runs the give and go with Kortenhoven far side, pass too far, and the Warriors clear it away. Two dancing with it. Back to Waltz and up to Lehman near midfield. Williams, a crafty move, faking to her right and coming back to her left. Deflected on, couldn't find Lehman. But then Massey takes a long pass back for Taylor. So right foot one across from us, wanting to find Kortenhoven, her sophomore classmate. Trying to find the mysterious player, number 19. She could not. Here come 2 players with numbers that we do know. Lydia Miller for Indiana Tech and Alana Rakes for TU.
Number 23, Lydia Miller. One for Taylor, number 4.
Miller comes to get the center forward, Kristen Rowe, and Rakes will come in to get Lindley, too. 2 an inch or 2 away from tying our match at 1. It was 16.5 minutes separating us between halftime. It's 1-0 Indiana Tech as they try to knock off their 3rd different Crossroads League opponent of the season. The Warriors hail out of the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, made up of teams from, you guessed it, Michigan and Indiana. Also Ohio. Ohio is in there as well. The WHAC, the WAC. Also Taylor, an associate member of the WAC for both their men's and what will be their women's lacrosse programs when women's lacrosse starts this spring. Indiana Tech has one of the better men's lacrosse programs in the NAIA. Their women's soccer team no slouch at 4-0 this year. Mystery player number 19 will punch it to the near side of Monroe, who has the only goal tonight. Hardy almost couldn't clear it away, held in by Indiana Tech, and a low bouncer by 13 in black Rothert. One hops into the arms of Megan Williams. Lehman fighting for it, takes a couple bounces, and then Walsh barrels in to Fifield, and here comes Walsh the other way. Or Walsh up the near sideline, I should say. Slow playing it, dumping it into Orm, the fastest player for the Trojans. To the end line, Orm goes. She plays it off the feet of the defender in Fifield, and with 15:10 left to go here in half 1, Taylor has their 3rd corner of the night. The second one to be taken by the spectacular Kate Kortenhoven. Massey cuts into the middle. Kortenhoven trying to find her. Over Massey's head, and right there was Raina Williams, but she hit it high in the air instead of down, and she had the whole backside of the goal to put it in. She shoots it over the frame, and it remains a 1-0 Taylor deficit. Another good look there by Taylor on a set piece. They try to equalize our score to goal aside. Rakes will dump it forward, finds Kortenhoven. Trying to pass it back to Walsh, sent away by Indiana Tech. Hardy couldn't hold it in time as Clifton stepped in front of her for the Warriors. Hardy. Back to Dempsey and quickly off to Raina Williams. In space to Rakes, knocked away by the Warriors of Indiana Tech. Dempsey keeps pressing it on for Taylor. Fifield to the far side. Ames being pressured from behind by Kortenhoven. She'll turn it over on the far sideline. And it'll be Hannah Waltz, one of the captains for TU, to throw it in. Walsh, long pass back to Hardy. To the feet of Blagovic, first for Indiana Tech. Now the Warriors trying to send it up back near midfield. Hardy trying to get her heel on it, could not. Here comes Indiana Tech on a counter. Slipping it through to Monroe, trying to slip behind Dempsey. Williams trying to crash her as well. Monroe goes in, and she's going to hit the post on the near side as she had Megan Williams beat. And sometimes the goalie's best friend is the post, and it was there for Williams. Monroe got behind both center backs, and Dempsey and Raina Williams got to the ball first. Megan Williams came off of her line to challenge her, and then she pulled it to the near side, did Monroe, and it hit right off the middle of the post. And a foul back near midfield comes against Morgan Orm. To the Taylor disagreement as Fifield and Orm collided. And Elliott will take the free kick 2 yards inside the midfield stripe. Massey heads it right on the button back up to Orm. Looking for help, and she'll find the cutting Lehman near side, who dumps it forward to the cutting Kortenhoven in the middle. One touch on, too far for Walsh to get to. Kortenhoven trying to get to it, and then diving and stopping it on the right edge of the box is the keeper, Zenda. A 1-0 Indiana Tech lead with less than 12 and a half minutes to go here in the first half. 5-4, yes, the shots in advantage for Indiana Tech. 4-2 on goal for the Warriors. Hardy trying that fancy fork. She's tied up and almost pulled down. Gets back to her feet. But there's mystery player number 19 for Indiana Tech. If that is your daughter, I apologize for not saying her name, but there is no number 19 on the Indiana Tech roster. And then Lehman called for a foul that the Taylor fans again voiced their displeasure with. Goal comes in the 9th minute for Indiana Tech. On the goal by Elena Monroe, her first of the year, on a beauty from just outside the box from the near sideline that she curled in with the right foot. Headed back up near midfield by Riley Massey. Here's Orm in the middle. Will work to her right, keeps working forward. Walsh cutting in front, pass deflected, and it won't get to Walsh in time. And that's going to allow Indiana Tech to get it out of trouble for the time being. But Hardy has got other ideas, and she'll hold it in. Lehman passing to the near side, and Orm. And an offside call on the near side. The flag goes in the air. First offside against either team tonight. 11:05 remaining in half one. 1-0 the Indiana Tech lead on the goal by Monroe. Raina Williams up to Lehman near midfield. Steps through a challenge, and there's a foul against Danny Blagovic. Bronx cheers come out from the Taylor fans. They were looking for some fouls a lot in the previous few moments. Massey in deep. That one from behind midfield came the free kick. Zenda had to get up on her tippy toes to haul it in. But still 1-0 Indiana Tech. Probably can't see it right now since we're focusing on the field down below us, but a picture perfect. There's a big wall of clouds out there, just beautiful. Out in front of us right now here in Upland, Indiana. 10:05 as the sun has set behind us with the whole field in shade right now. Lights haven't really taken hold just yet, but that'll come when the teams come back here to start the second half. Walsh's pass goes behind, rakes for Taylor. Quick counter the other way. Monroe trying to slip behind. It goes off of Massey's shoulder. Monroe trying to get to it first. Massey closes on quick, and she'll kick it across the end line, and that will set up the first corner of the night for Indiana Tech. As again, Monroe tried to make Taylor pay. Had just an assist coming in on her previous, and on 12 shots and no goals, but has come up with the first goal of the night so far, and so far it's our only goal of the night. And Lily Rothert will take it from the near side corner for Indiana Tech. It'll come into the right of Williams, and a right-footed play from Rothert. A short one that Massey heads away for TU. Back into the fray it's sent, and Williams watches it sail to the edge of the box, and she'll snag it as Lemelin played it in. Williams punting it back near the center circle. To the defensive half, sent by Indiana Tech. Raina Williams dishing off to Lehman. Turns over that right shoulder. She'll volley one deep and let the fastest player on the Trojan roster, Orm, go after it. She's got on the near edge, trying to cork her way back to her left. It's deflected to the end line it goes. Who to go off of? They'll say it goes off of Orm on the ruling by our near side official, who was right on top of it. And here come two subs for TU. Sophia Snyder and Victoria Hilsey. As Massey gets a break and Lehman gets a break. So Hilsey comes in to get Massey in the back line. And Snyder goes to a left forward spot. And they'll bump Kortenhoven back to the midfield to replace Jordan Lehman. Dempsey volleys it in hard. It goes off the back of an Indiana Tech player. Taylor holding it in near side, shooting on the goal to our right. Hilsey plays it off the defender. A big throw in from Hilsey trying to find Walsh. Orm sidesteps her way in. An offside call against Taylor again here on the near sideline. Second time Taylor's been offside tonight. Not a lot of times you see an offside come on a throw-in. Almost 7.5 minutes remaining in half number one. It's a 1-0 Indiana Tech lead. And the goal came less than 10 minutes into this opening stanza by Elena Monroe, her first tally of the year. And just the 5th goal that Taylor was allowed here in 2019, and just the 2nd one that the keeper Williams has allowed to get by. That'd be Megan Williams. Kortenhoven to the middle for Taylor. A left-footed pass to Hannah Waltz. Pressure comes in front, quickly dealing it forward. Split between Snyder and Walsh, sent away by the defense of Indiana Tech and Lemelin. Had to play far sideline off the feet of Indiana Tech. And Taylor will throw it in again with Waltz to the corner. Snyder trying to get inside position. It's deflected off of Snyder, now over across the end line. And another goal kick upcoming here for the Indiana Tech keeper, Ali Zenda, who stopped both shots she's faced tonight. Megan Williams for Taylor has stopped 3 out of the 4. Zenda the short goal kick to mystery player number 19. Hardy takes it away, and she'll carry up the left side of the field. Hits the brakes, looking for help. She'll cross it back to the middle of the trailing Kortenhoven. Overran it, but it bounces back to Orm. Circling and playing will be Hilsey. She's great at crossing the ball. She sends one high to the backside box. Up in the air was Walsh. It went off of her hip, but couldn't redirect it on as it bounces out of play. And another Zenda goal kick. So Stephanie Torres is number 19. And to the Torres family, I say I apologize, but every time she does it, we will let you know that that is Stephanie Torres. She is out there right now on the far edge. She's one of the 3 forwards right now for Indiana Tech. She applies pressure right here against Raina Williams. Right edge of the center circle is A.C. Hardy's. To Hilsey on the near side. The North Carolina native up to the near side and Orm. Trying to play it back to Hilsey. Finds the feet of Kortenhoven. Circling over that right shoulder. Little back heel flick is Hardy's. Now works it back to her right. Into space to Rakes, her freshman classmate. Top of the box in Orm. Traffic clogging things up. Here's Kortenhoven. Back to Orm. Volleying it left edge. Couldn't get it high enough to Snyder. But then Kortenhoven will hold it in the midfield for Taylor. To Rakes, the freshman out of Ohio. Rakes, a left-footed bomb that'll go. And was it hit by Zenda? It was. It was well wide by about 3 ball widths. But Zenda dove on it, made contact with it. And now here comes another corner for the Trojans, their 4th. But no Massey in the middle trying to use that height. So who will Kortenhoven try to pick here from the near side corner with almost 4.5 minutes remaining before halftime? And Taylor down a goal. And then Kortenhoven will play it behind the netting, and it goes wide. So a goal kick for Zenda. You see some players take their time and set things up. Kortenhoven sprints over there, sets the ball down, and boom, we're going. Zenda drives it up near midfield. Rakes trying to get position. And it bounces and finds the feet of Clifton for Indiana Tech. Hilsey trying to usher Monroe out of the way. She does, and then Hilsey comes back and wins the ball away from Monroe. Nicely done by Hilsey off the Taylor bench. And then this ball sent to the Warrior bench. Hauled in by... Well, the young lady's wearing number 24, and that can't be because Sydney Lemelin's out there on the floor also wearing, out in the field also wearing 24. But either way, she made a wonderful catch on the near sideline. 3:34 to go, first half. 1-0 Indiana Tech out front. They've outshot Taylor 4-2 in shots on goal, each team with 5 shots. Snyder trying to work back to her right foot on the far edge of the field inside that final third. Off the feet of Rakes. Torres wanting to clear it for Indiana Tech and then driven forward by one of her teammates on the back line. Headed along by Clifton. Raina Williams hustling after it for TU on the far edge of the field. To her center back mate in Hannah Dempsey out of Colorado. Dempsey plays one deep, goes off the defender's knees. Orm popping it forward. Walsh got a toe on it. And then cleared away near side by the defender Fifield, who was right there step for step with Emma Walsh. Hilsey to throw it in. She finds Orm on the near edge of the field. Taylor shooting on the goal to our right. Orm trying to play between her defender's legs to the back of her heel. It was intercepted by Elliott. Back out of play by Indiana Tech. Hilsey quickly throws it back into Orm, who wanted to work it back to Hilsey. And it goes off of Monroe's feet, and Hilsey will throw it in one more time. This time to the cutting Rakes, who pops it back to the end line. Orm trying to be the first one there. She's cut off by Fifield. And it'll be another goal kick for Zenda and Indiana Tech with about 2 minutes when she'll play it back in, remaining in the first half. Indiana Tech leading 1-0 in this non-conference matchup. Five shots aside, 4 on goal for Indiana Tech, 2 on the frame for TU. Hardy off her right foot, shouldering it forward is Elliott. Then Hilsey has it poked away by Monroe, but able to throw it in. Hardy trying to hold it in. She cannot, right in front of her own bench. With about 95 seconds left, we'll see if Taylor can get one more push. Hilsey called for a push here, the 6th foul against Taylor in half one. Free kick near sideline by Bailey Elliott. Right footing one in the middle. Rakes right there for Taylor. Sails over her outstretched leg. Deflected back around. And then Raina Williams sends it to the far side of the field. Snyder comes back to help. Trying to pass it along to Rakes. She and Torres locked up and go down. And they get Rakes for the foul. 7th foul against Taylor tonight. 3 for Indiana Tech as we dip below a minute to go here in half one. Free kick will come 27 yards outside of the box, or away from the goal on the far edge of the field. Williams moves her three-woman wall. Ball to the top, trying to send it along, still deflected around. Dempsey pressing on. A long-range shot will curl high and wide to the near side by Lydia Miller. Six shots for Indiana Tech, and with 19 seconds left in half one, that will probably just about do it for our first half of play. Hardy pushed from behind, and with 10 seconds left, that will be the final play. Hardy doesn't think so. She tried to cut it off and tried to play it early, saying the defender was in front of her, didn't let her get it cleanly. It looks like she was about 6 yards ahead of where our head official wanted the ball to be played from. So after 45 minutes of play, it's Indiana Tech 1 and Taylor nothing. We're back with the BSN Sports halftime report after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from manufacturers such as Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland. Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from manufacturers such as Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from manufacturers such as Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Back here at Turner Stadium, your BSN Sports halftime numbers. Indiana Tech out in front shots 6-5, including 4-2 in shots on goal. They also have the only shot that counts on Elena Monroe, the freshman from Shelby Township, Michigan. Her very first college goal is her only goal here so far tonight. And after that sun went down, we were close to 90 degrees today. It is a quite cool and comfortable night here in Upland, Indiana. We'll see if Taylor can get an equalizing tally here. They have made a switch in goal like they had in the previous 5 games of the year. And so Megan Williams comes out at halftime. The senior Lauren Camerano comes in to spell her to start the second half. Same starters back out there for Taylor. Tevens trying to use that speed and win the ball away. Five-field circles and keeps it away from the fleet-footed Tevens. And Taylor will throw it in. Right edge, Davis, end line, cross block to corner upcoming for Taylor. It'll be their 5th corner of the night, and it'll come from the far side of the field. And Tevens will be the one to take it for TU. 90 seconds into half number 2. Massey down there in the middle. We'll see if Tevens can find her. Tevens to the middle of the box. 2 jumping for it, punched away by the keeper Zenda. And then driven hard out of trouble by Lemelin. And a throw-in upcoming for TU. But Zenden is down after getting hurt, and so we'll pause momentarily as head athletic soccer trainer Joe Walter comes to check on the Indiana Tech keeper.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from manufacturers such as Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
So Ali Zenda taken off. Head athletic trainer for soccer, Joe Walter, will take a look. The backup keeper comes in. That's Riley Stafford, a freshman out of nearby Muncie, Indiana, and Muncie Central High School. Foul called against Indiana Tech. That's their 5th. There's Massey will drive it in from the right edge. Circling into the box. 2 trying to head it on, and it's in! Riley Massey finds Lindley 2, and the Trojans have tied it at 1. Less than 3 minutes gone here in half 2. Massey on the receiving end of a set piece last week. She sets up 2 here, who heads it home, and we're all knotted at 1 here in half 2. That is her team-tying 3rd goal of the year to go with Claudio and Massey. 2nd assist for Massey on the year. Now Taylor trying to add a 2nd one to the list. Teven slipped it through 2 defenders as one off the back heel of Claudio. And here comes Taylor the other way, shooting on the goal to our left. It looks like we might have some weather rolling in here as the storms shine and dark clouds roll in around us. There was some potential for weather, we thought, early in the afternoon. It kind of didn't even show itself, but the weather might be rearing its ugly head here in half number 2. The ball bounces to Claudio, left edge of the box. She goes to the end line, but the whistle comes, and the offside flag up across from us. As Taylor called for offside, 3rd time tonight. That wind picking up as well. It's actually blowing out towards the far corner across from us and to our left. Headed back in by Indiana Tech. Bouncing on through all the way to the defensive half, and Raina Williams of Taylor. Flicks it up near midfield. Monroe on it. She's the goal scorer tonight for Indiana Tech. To the goal scorer tonight for TU. Ball sent in deep to Claudio. Camerano comes out and snags it with 2 hands. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. Nice little try there by the Trojans, and it looks like Stafford has come up with her first stop of the night. All knotted at 1 after the header by Riley, or the header from Lindley, 2 off the pass from Riley Massey on a free kick far side.
Shut it down, Lindley, shut it down.
Lydia Miller to Stephanie Torres, who gets the start here the second half after coming on a reserve role in half 1. The 11 starters back, or 10 starters out there for Taylor to start the second half. The only change in goal, Camerano taking over for Megan Williams. Camerano, 5'8" senior out of Northborough, Massachusetts. 7 saves and 3 goals allowed this year as she plays in her 6th contest. She'll have the goal kick here. Knocked off the back of Lehman as Indiana Tech able to keep it in. The Warriors in black jerseys, white shorts. They shoot on the goal to our right. 2 touches it in deep. Tevens applied pressure before Lemelin cleared it away on the far sideline. A warm start with the temperature at around 85 degrees. It has dropped considerably here since the sun is set behind us. And there are some dark clouds that have kind of rolled their way in here on the periphery out beyond the sight lines. Or out beyond the skyline, I should say. Back behind the buildings and such here that dot the campus view behind our perch here at Turner Stadium. 1-1 score. 6.5 minutes have gone by here in the second half between Taylor and Indiana Tech. Williams up. Indiana Tech will send this one back in deep. And Camerano able to stop it on a bounce. Massey drives it in deep. Tevens hustling after it. First one onto it, right edge of the box. Poked away from her by Fifield, but it goes out across the end line. And Taylor will have their 6th corner of the night, with the game now knotted at 1. With almost 8 minutes expired here in the second stanza. Far side corner, left edge from Stafford. A screamer in, bounces around, still loose in the box, tapped in, and it goes in! It's in! It just got across the goal line! And Taylor strikes again here in the second half. It's a 2-1 Taylor lead. And I think Riley Massey was the one that got it. And it is, because she's going to run to the bench and do some celebrating here with Sarah Beatty. And Taylor back in front for the first time tonight. Massey assisted on the 2 tally, and now she scores here. And the good news for Indiana Tech, Ali Zenda is able to come back in. She replaces Stafford. So 37-15 left, as Zenda has returned the keeper for Indiana Tech. Tevens trying to slip it on to Claudio. Then back to the near sideline. Matt Waltz will put her foot in front of it and cut it off. So Zenda back in there in the goal for Indiana Tech after coming out for a moment. But her backup Stafford has allowed the equalizing and go-ahead goals here for Taylor. Massey set up 2 on a free kick from the far side, and then Massey was able to drive it in after it was loose around inside the 18 near the 6-yard box. Ball still free here before being driven away by the right foot of Sydney Lemelin. Two to 1 the Taylor lead, 35-55 left to go here in the second half. As we do see some storms out in the distance, but they don't seem to be inside the radius where we'll have to stop play for the time being. Torres slipping it back, left edge of the box. Rose shot blocked by Dempsey of Taylor. And now Tevens tries to come back. It'll be held in on a screamer wide by Indiana Tech on the shot by Bailey Elliott. Taylor trailed 1-0 after the first half. And in the first 8 minutes here of half 2, the Trojans get back-to-back tallies and lead 2-1 over Indiana Tech. A team that comes in the Warriors 4-0 on the year. The Trojans 5-1. Their only loss a couple of weeks ago on the road at a very good Northwestern Ohio club. 2 boxes out. An Indiana Tech player in Lydia Miller. That allows Waltz to come in and scoop up the loose change. Dempsey to Massey, back to the near side in the middle, and Raina Williams. Across midfield to 2. She'll play it on deep and let Claudio go run after it. Might be too far for Allie to get to. It is, and sent away by Lemelin along the near sideline. Taylor will have a throw-in near the attacking third. I actually say it'll be Indiana Tech, as that one was deflected off of Claudio's foot. 2 kicks it out of play, and another throw-in about 10 yards up the near sideline for Indiana Tech. They flick it in here. Wall's trying to work it onto 2. Pinballs around. Claddy will bomb it back to the middle. Davis heads it onto space. Nobody there. Coming off of her line is the keeper, Zenda. And she scoops it up, and everyone retreats back to the vicinity of midfield, awaiting the punt from Zenda. Massey and Davis both there. Davis to Massey. Then Torres will poke it out away across from us. 2-1 the Taylor lead. 32:40 left to go here in the second half. Goals by 2 and Massey, with Massey assisting on the 2 tally on a free kick. And Claudio trying to apply pressure here. Keeping it away from her is Ames. And Indiana Tech unable to keep moving it forward, and so Waltz will throw it in along the near sideline for the home team. Stevens to 2, poking it away. Was Miller, but then Waltz able to get it back into 2. Near side to Claudio, but it rolls out of play before Alley could keep it in play. Waltz applies pressure on Monroe. Miller sends it to the attacking half and across midfield for Indiana Tech. Lehman in the center circle will get back on top of it for TU. Lehman across midfield, working to her left to the middle. Runs through one challenge, goes back to the far side. Didn't have enough juice to get it to Davis, but the ball will find its way to midfield and onto the feet of Lindley too. Right edge, Lehman, nice pass on the button. Right to Davis, a centering try through Stevens and cleared away by Indiana Tech. Held in by the feet of Jordan Lehman. She can't keep it pressing forward as it's poked away from her by Lemelin. Here's 2 operating behind her feet, then back to her right. The 2 just dancing with Indiana Tech defenders. Davis wanted to one-touch it on to Stevens, and it's sent away by the Warrior back line. Massey right-footing it in on the far sideline, bouncing once, twice, 3 times and out. 2 subs coming in for the Warriors. Rothert, who started the first half, and Saffron, who started the first half as well. They come to get Lydia Miller and Stephanie Torres.
13, Lily Rothert.
And the ball goes out on the far sideline. They'll say that the Indiana Tech player, I think, stepped in when she threw, and so the Trojans will throw it in on the far side. Massey throwing it in for Taylor, and a foul comes against the home team. 8th one against Taylor tonight. And remember again, Taylor doing this all without two of their starting midfielders, and Danielle Torin and Hannah Martinez. Davis knocks it down on the far sideline for the Trojans. Long pass to let Stevens run after it. She's in a dead sprint with Fifield. They both get there. It goes across the end line and went off of Fifield. Great hustle by Stevens. Here comes corner number 7 for the Trojans. Less than a half hour to go in the second half. Taylor leading by 1, trying to find an insurance tally here. Taylor has scored their 2 goals off of set pieces tonight. Stevens blasting it in. Massey tracking it, heading it into the air, and just off the top of the crossbar. But it went off the fingertips of the keeper, Zenda, and out of play. And so the Trojans will take a corner from the near side of the field this time. So Stevens was the one that got it into the box to Massey. And she gets credit for the assist. We'll see if she can get one in here. Near side corner to the middle, and then Massey volleys one high and over everything. 28-50 and counting here at half 2. The Trojans offense has found a nice rhythm here in the second half, and they lead 2-1. Massey, right footing it forward, and then played back across the midline by Bailey Elliott of Indiana Tech. Pressure comes Indiana Tech, near sideline. Ames has it taken away by Waltz. 2 plays it off the back of Ames. Taylor looks for a handball that will not be called. Claudio near sideline. Pressure comes from behind. Slips it through the defender's legs of Monroe. And then Stevens tried to swim back against the defense. And then was sent away by Indiana Tech before it could find the feet of Jordan Lehman, I should say. Ball sent to the other end of the field. And the only one there is Lauren Camerano of Taylor. Taylor looks for a foul, deflected out of bounds by Indiana Tech. Ball cleared away by Fifield. Williams shouldering it down to the midfield in 2. Monroe pokes it away from 2. And then they send it back to the middle. Massey closes in, goes off of her hip, and then Raina Williams will drive it forward for the Trojans in the middle of the field. Soft touch by Fifield. Pokes it away from 2, deflected by Taylor's Laura Clatty to the near sideline and Claudio. Laying it back to Waltz, who will run away from Monroe. To the center circle, right on the top of the purple Trojan head logo is Clatty. To 2. Back to the defensive side and Raina Williams. Up to Lehman near side of the field on those football numbers. She'll go cross field off the foot. Davis on a dead sprint trying to get there. A slide tackle, and she put it on goal somehow. And stopping it was Zenda as Davis went sliding to the turf. She sent one around Elliott, and Zenda had to get down on the turf to stop it. Taylor has yet to get a shot by Zenda, but they got 2 shots from the backup Stafford after Zenda had to go off because of an injury during a corner kick. And Taylor has gone from 1 down to 1 up. Trojans looking for their 3rd win at home this year to go 3-0. Tevens in the middle, fakes to the near side, going to the far side. Wanted to go find Davis, played behind her, popped into the air, and Elliott trying to clear. Held in by 2, long range try, knocked down, and then smothered up by Zenda, the keeper, as Claudio was collapsing onto her. Fourth save of the night for Zenda. As 2 has started to find her offensive groove. Lehman, centering ball from the far corner. Trying to touch it down was Davis, but could not elude the feet of Fifield. Indiana Tech trying to counter. They led for the majority of this contest before Taylor struck for 2 goals in the first 8 minutes here of the second half. And they lead 2-1. Right edge Davis lost her footing as she tried to dump it off to Jordan Lehman. Ball to the middle. Claudio touching it off to Tevens. Here come the Trojans in the middle. Poked away from Tevens. Davis working in from the far side. She'll try to throw the defender away from her, but Blagovic kept her feet. And Indiana Tech able to keep moving in their direction. Waltz pokes away from Monroe, but now Monroe's going to get it back with a head of steam. But Raina Williams steps in front and drives one into the 3rd row down into our left. 24.5 minutes remaining here in this second half. Indiana Tech trying to win their 5th game in a row to start the year as Raina Williams called for the foul, the 9th one against Taylor tonight. The Trojans trying to move to 6-1 and stay perfect here at home. Lemelin sends the free kick to the box, trying to bicycle it up was Monroe, but it goes off the right. Actually, make that Blagovic, went off the right side of her leg and out of play on the far sideline. 2 lays it back to Massey, who rockets one forward. Bounces off the turf. Now Tevens hits it into a high gear. Volleyed back over her head by the defender, Fifield. But Davis gets her heels on the pass, knocks it down, and to 2 in the middle. Up on a 1 touch to Tevens, back to the trailing Clatty in the middle. Taylor out front, 2-1. Clatty trying to operate. Here comes Waltz coming in from the back to help. Waltz dancing, has a slick little move back to her right. She'll curl one in far side, goes over Davis's head, and out of play wide right of the goal. Waltz with a little slip, trying to go back to her right. Just cannot connect with Davis. Davis, Waltz, Dempsey, and Martinez, the 4 Trojans, all with the first name of Hannah. As Lydia Miller will come back in here, it looks like, for Indiana Tech at the next opportunity. As we see the full moon starting to creep out from behind the dark clouds across from us. Friday the 13th here in Upland, Indiana. No spooky things have happened just yet. But the night is still young. Rowe, passing up the near side, wanting to find Monroe. Pass was too far in front of her. Williams taps it. There's a deft little touch from 2. Claudio trying to keep it going in Taylor's way down the near sideline. Ames takes it away from her. Then Raina Williams steps in front of the intended target for Taylor. Claddy to Massey, deep. Stevens hustling. Edge of the box, bounces in, and Zenda the keeper right there. Whistle stops with Megan Clifton slow to get back up, so she'll come out, and for the injury timeout, she'll be replaced by Lydia Miller. And AC Hardy will come in for Taylor. First time we've seen AC here in the second half. She goes to get Claddy. And the ball sent back into Camerano as we see the full moon in all of its glory out from behind the clouds. A full moon on Friday the 13th. Well, sounds like the beginning of a movie if you ask me. Here's number 13 for Taylor, 2. Lindley into the cutting. Davis on a dead run. Overruns it and gets it back. Stepping through end line, Davis stops the ball, comes back into play. She'll find the trailing Lehman, who works her way back to the middle. Here's Hardy from range, touching it to Stevens, who left foots it home. Wheaton Academy to Wheaton Academy, and with 21:33 to go in the second half, the Trojans now lead by 2. First shot of the night for the electrifying Erin Stevens, and she makes it count as AC Hardy gets the assist. First collegiate point for Hardy. It looked like AC was going to take a shot from long range. Allie Pencil in for Indiana Tech. She'll come in to get Fifield on the back line. But then right as Hardy was ready to tee one up from long distance, she found Stevens waiting right in the middle of the box. Nobody was around her. And deftly played it to her. Then Stevens does what Stevens does, and that's score goals. So a 3-1 Taylor lead after playing not strongly in that first half, trailing 1-0. And now Hardy has got some sauce to her moves as she tries to carry from the back. Raina Williams takes it away. Will play it off to Jordan Lehman. Back behind her feet. Poked away from behind. Here comes Stevens across the midline, and it rolls to Davis of Taylor. Off of Davis, and Indiana Tech will throw it in across from us. Less than 21 minutes remaining here in the second half. Stevens off of her right toe. Lemelin will send it forward for Indiana Tech. Too far for the intended target, Monroe. And so Waltz will throw it in for TU. Some flashes of thunder go out in the distance. Kate Kortenhoven has also come in for Taylor. And a foul comes against Stevens. 10th foul against Taylor tonight. Just 5 committed by the Warriors of Indiana Tech. Long pass. Stevens knocks it down into space. Waltz trying to pop it back forward. Cut off nicely by Lemelin. 2, big first touch to the near side. Rolls out of play, and the Warriors of Indiana Tech will throw it in. Long pass through. Raina Williams there. Camerano calls everybody off, and she'll scoop it up just inside the top of the box. Camerano in the goal to our right. Zenda for Indiana Tech in the goal to our left. With a full moon shining brightly off in the distance on this Friday the 13th in September. Indiana Tech kicks out of play near sideline, so Waltz will throw it in at the end of her own bench. Stevens has it go off of her shin and out of play. Aims to throw it in, but not before Stephanie Torres comes back in for Indiana Tech. She'll replace their goal scorer tonight, Elena Monroe. And then Tech kicks out of play on the throw-in. Waltz into 2 right at the midfield line. 2 circling. She's just going to run away from 2 defenders. Now she'll dump it to Stevens, who sweeps it on. Here comes Lindley, 2, racing up the near side box. She hits the brakes, circling over that left shoulder. 2, up top, Tevens from long range. The left foot try will go wide on the ground. Lindley, too, is something else, folks. A member of a couple different national team levels in China. Spent time that one call-up match with the full national team before coming here to Taylor in January of 2017. Was hurt, so didn't play last year, but that whole year allowed her to get acclimated. Didn't know much English, if at all, before coming here, and now is much more comfortable with the language, able to communicate with her teammates a little bit easier than she had in the past. Also, as we've talked with some of the girls and head coach Scott Stan says that they say that now she's kind of able to pick up some of the soccer terms that folks use here in America, and that's kind of helped, and that's really helped her a lot as well. But she is a phenomenal talent, 2-time captain of both the U18 and U21 national teams over there in China. Won an Olympic gold medal in the Junior Olympics for China in soccer. So an all-world talent out there wearing number 13 in white for Taylor. If my memory serves right, I believe she's also had times in her national team career when she was coming up, actually had played against some members of the United States national team, the World Cup champs. 2 slips, back to her feet. And then Lindley will get called for a foul as she was on the turf. Fans have not liked the majority of the fouls that have come against Taylor tonight, and they don't like the 11th one that's been whistled against them any more than the first 10. Near the attacking third is Indiana Tech, the deepest they've been in their offensive side here in the second half. Torres playing it back. Good pressure by Davis to get Torres to turn it over. Actually make that Elliott who turned it over. Lehman legging it out near midfield, working back to the center circle. Hardy there. Raina Williams steps forward and keeps pressing it on. To the middle in Tevens, back to Raina Williams. Williams fake to her left, plays it to the right side in Hannah Davis. 16:26 to go, second half. Taylor leading 3-1. Davis racing to the end line, trying to center it. She'll get it on through, deflected up to the top of the box. There's pressure from Raina Williams trying to get it in there, but somehow Indiana Tech able to turn it out with Rothert and kick it away far side. Here comes Alana Rakes in for Taylor. She'll go get Lindley too. Right edge of the box, the Trojans trying to hold it in. Kortenhoven in that left forward spot. Alana Rakes in there at the center forward position. Walt's trying to work it to her, but it's intercepted nicely by Blagovic of Indiana Tech. Ames near sideline. Touching it off to Rowe. It works back to the middle, calling for it and getting it will be Lydia Miller. 3-1 the Taylor lead. All 3 Taylor goals coming here in the second half. The first 2 coming in the first 8 minutes. Knocked on deep. Tevens trying to leg it out. It'll be too far for her to get to as the keeper Zenda comes off and sends it away. And then an offside flag is in the air. Looks like Molly Ames was the guilty party. First offside tonight by Indiana Tech. Last home event of the weekend. And the only home event here of the weekend right here. An action-packed Saturday coming up tomorrow, but everyone for Taylor is on the road. Waltz to throw it in for Taylor. Finds Tevens. Then quickly back to Waltz, who volleys it in along the near side of the field. Trying to win in the air was Tevens. Popped back in, saved by Indiana Tech. Rowe feels pressure from behind by Raina Williams, and she'll play it back up the near sideline. And then Ames will blast it deep. Massey tracks it over her head, finds it far side with Safran close on her heels. Massey bombs it deep. And the only one there will be Indiana Tech's Allie Pencil, the freshman out of Michigan. An errant pass to the middle. Kortenhoven couldn't get to it. Swept to the near side, able to hold it in, will be Ames of Indiana Tech. Here's Tevens in the middle, has 1 goal tonight. From long distance, wide and high across from us.
No on for Indiana Tech. Number 6, Megan Clifton.
Megan Clifton in for Indiana Tech. She replaces Kristen Rowe. 13:35 remaining here in this second half. Indiana Tech has yet to take a shot here in the second half. They had 6 at halftime. The Trojans, meanwhile, have outshot Indiana Tech 15-8 here this evening. And now they might get 16. Davis pressed off the ball nicely by Elliott, and then Elliott able to clear it away across from us. Davis had the inside position. Elliott was right there on her hip. He was able to win the ball away from Davis inside the box as the Trojans look for their 4th goal of the evening. Throw in from Massey to Davis. She'll chest it on, but it takes a big careen off of that shoulder and goes out of play. A goal kick upcoming here for Indiana Tech. Torres near sideline. Up to Williams, who left foots it out of play and away from trouble. A second ball has found its way back onto the field. Play continues. Safran into the box. Camerano there. It snatches it away before Safran can make a play on frame. Hilsey and Claudio down there for Taylor. Claudio will re-enter here in the second half. It'll be the first time we see Victoria here in half number 2. Less than 12 to go in regulation as Stevens runs away from trouble. Trying to get to that loose ball before it's cleared away, however, by Elliott, who's cleared away a couple of different tries away from Trojans tonight, here in the second half in particular. Hilsey on for the first time in half number 2. Claudio back in for Taylor. Claudio goes to get her classmate Kortenhoven, and Massey, the sophomore as well, will exit with Hilsey replacing her. So Massey assisted on the tying tally, scored the go-ahead goal. In the box, it goes off of Davis's hand, and a handball is called on the play by 11 in white. Williams, Raina Williams with a left foot forward. Stevens now at a right forward spot. Davis moves to the center forward position as they try to let Stevens work on that speed from the outside. Taylor knocks it in deep. Far side of the box. It'll be swept in by the foot of Zenda, and she'll pick it up and then send it back into play. 10:31 remaining in half number 2. Taylor went into the second half down by 1. They now lead by 2, with all 3 goals coming here in the second half. Raina Williams up to Hardy. Stevens back to Hardy. Those two teamed up for Taylor's 3rd goal. Hardy surveying things on the right seam. She'll work it on to Davis. Still on that right seam. Davis working to the middle. Left edge of the box. A left-footed shot right to the stomach of Zenda, whom stops another one. 5th save of the night for Zenda. She's had a couple rockets sent right to her, and she's answered the call a couple of different times. Has only allowed 1 goal tonight. That was on the Hardy to Stevens tally. Torres marked by Hardy. Torres out of California. Hardy out of Illinois. And Hadley Hopkins will make, or will she? She will. She will make her first appearance of the night. As Hopkins comes in to get Ames. Williams left footing it back up. And then Waltz will just drive it back to the center circle. A big careen off the knees of Pencil. Rakes circling. Little stop. Keeps the ball at her feet. And up to Claudio, the sophomore. Claudio trying to turn on the newcomer Hopkins. And it goes off of Claudio, and Indiana Tech has a throw-in. With 9:03 remaining in regulation, they trail by 2. Raina Williams high in the air. Dempsey trying to head it down. Could not clear it away. Sefrin Wanted to slip it on through the defenders, could not connect to Clifton. Rothard holding it in, but her pass to the middle is intercepted by Hilsey, who drives it away with the right foot. Bouncing ball, Taylor looking for a handball, and play continues. A deflection, Pencil keeps moving it forward. Near sideline pass, dumping it up to Hopkins, and then R. Williams comes in and pokes it free. Ava Hubbard will make her first appearance of the night. She will spell Hannah Davis at the forward spot. First time we've seen Ava Hubbard tonight. She plays in her second contest of her college career. Hubbard, a 5'6" sophomore out of Ohio. Taylor looking for another handball. And play continues to roll on. Hilsey dribbling it off of her knee to the center circle, intercepted by Lemelin. Rother waited for it to come down, tried to thread the needle. It was poked away by Taylor's Hannah Dempsey. Lehman, right edge of the circle to Rakes, try to poke it back to Hardy. Knocked around, and then Waltz will volley it in deep. Hubbard, trying to race after it with Pencil. They both fall down. Hubbard back to it first, and the flag comes on the far side of the field. Fourth offside against Taylor tonight. 7:32 and counting here in the second half, and the Trojans are ahead by a pair of tallies. Rothert playing it deep into the box, a one hop and into the mitts of Lauren Camerano. Ball deflected back to Lehman. And to find Hubbard. And the flag comes in the back, and they'll get Hubbard for the foul. Foul number 13 against Taylor tonight. And Taylor fans have not been happy with any of those foul calls against the home team tonight. Still no shots here in the second half for Indiana Tech. The Trojans have 16 and 9 on goal in total, and 3 have found their way in. Emma Walsh waiting patiently on the near sideline to check in for TU. And Stevens will exit as Walsh will come in to spell her. Stevens' only shot tonight, a goal. Make it her first shot of the night, a goal. Her only one on goal, went in. Hers the insurance tally right now. Taylor up 3-1. Hubbard wanted to find Walsh on the far side. A little bit too far for her to get to. And now Indiana Tech will set it up for the back with Pencil. Right-footed pass in the middle of the center circle. The right edge, make that Clifton, excuse me. She wants to get away from Rakes. To the near side and Claudio. Still back to the near side as Rothert wins it back for Indiana Tech. Lemelin, Hopkins. Rakes pokes it free. Claudio cannot keep it in play. With 5:15 remaining here in the second half, the clock is the enemy of Indiana Tech, needing 2 tallies to force overtime. Throw over the head of Rakes. Played in by Miller. Rakes maneuvering to the middle. Touch off to Hardy. A little miscommunication between the 2 freshmen. That allows Indiana Tech to keep it moving in their direction. Rothert, long pass intended for Torres. Waltz right there on her hip. But the pass had too much juice, goes out of play. And Taylor will throw it in from the back third of the field with Waltz. 4:40 remaining in regulation time. Hardy to the near sideline, fakes, and then she'll kick it out of play. Could not get the deflection off of Rothert's feet. Clifton waited for it to come to her. Claudio cleared it away. Here's Hubbard for Taylor. Big left-footed try, deflected out by the feet of Lemelin. Waltz will take her time as she walks to the near sideline to throw it in. And Claudio pushed from behind, foul against Indiana Tech, their 6th, first one of the second half. Williams, the junior, selected as a captain by her teammates. Plays it in deep. Claudio will be bumped at the end by Torres as the ball rolled across the end line. Goal kick coming here for Indiana Tech with 3:35 and winding here in half number 2. As Lauren Senna and Emma Shoemaker come to the midfield line to check in for TU. Hardy right-footing it back in for Taylor near the midline. Raina Williams gets her head on it and then sent back forward by Hopkins of Indiana Tech. Hardy waits and she'll bash it to the far side. Hilsey racing after it, nobody in front of her, and so Hilsey can set things up. Big right foot, wanting to find Hubbard, bounces into the box, and the foul called against Ava as she took out Allie Pencil in the air. Less than 3 minutes to go here in this second stanza. Taylor leading 3-1 with all 3 goals coming here in the second half. Their first 2 coming in the first 8 minutes. A handball against Indiana Tech, and a free kick will be Taylor's on the left edge of the center circle. Into the box, touched on and just wide by Emma Walsh. So the clock will stop with 2:18 to go in the second half, with Taylor out front by 2. Lauren Senna in, as we mentioned, along with Emma Shoemaker. They replace Waltz and Lehman. A rough first half for Taylor has led to a very nice second half. And they look to be on their way to win number 6 this year, and they'll remain perfect here at home, trying to move to 3-0. Off the feet of Shoemaker. Emma, a 5'1" freshman out of Fort Wayne and Fort Wayne Snyder High School. Senna, freshman out of Little Lakes, Minnesota. Hubbard hits the brakes. Left footing one on. Claudio's got inside position, trying to beat Zedna to it. Zenda dives and stops Claudio from getting there. 1:40 remaining in the second half. Indiana Tech trying to press it forward. It bounces on, and the flag is in the air. And the shot is right-footed wide by Safran again anyway. Less than 90 seconds left. Camerano looks over that left shoulder, both to find where the closest soccer ball is, also try to check on the time. And if she wants, she'll kick it forward so the clock doesn't stop. That's a smart play by the senior Camerano, instead of trying to milk as much time as possible as we are close to hitting the 1 minute mark. Williams forward, and here comes the announcement of 1 minute.
1 minute remaining.
Taylor out front by 2, 3-1. Goals by 2, Massey and Tevens. For Tevens, that's her 3rd of the year. Massey's 4th. That gives her the team lead. 2's was her 3rd. Whistle blows with 42 seconds left. Tilsey will throw it in for Taylor. And that will be just about it, as Indiana Tech's unbeaten streak will come to a close night. They'll lose their first match of the year and fall to 4-1. The Trojans will improve to 6-1. And the first of what will be 3 straight games here at home. Last push here for Indiana Tech as Clifton takes it away from Dempsey. Dempsey with good speed gets back to it. Torres on the edge of the center circle. Shoemaker makes her hit the brakes, and then she'll lay it on back to Monroe. Try to center it. 10-second on the clock. Raina Williams kicks it forward to Hubbard, and that will do it. As they kick it in deep to the Trojans, Zenda there. She'll scoop it up, and that will be it. Taylor went into the first half break and halftime down 1. They scored 2 goals in the first 8 minutes of half 2. They added 1 more for insurance, and they defeat Indiana Tech tonight, giving the Warriors their first loss of the year at 3-1. Elena Monroe scored her first collegiate goal. That gave Indiana Tech the lead at 1-0. That goal held until we got to the second half. Less than 3 minutes in, it was Riley Massey finding Lynn Lee 2 on a set-piece free kick from the far side of the field on the goal to our left. 2 headed in to tie the game at 1. And then 5 minutes and 7 seconds later, it was Riley Massey who buried one in traffic after Tevens sent it in from the far side corner. And then a little Wheaton Academy and a Wheaton Academy magic. AC Hardy slipped it forward to her former high school teammate, now college teammate Aaron Tevens. And Taylor wins 3-1 tonight. They improved to 6-1. Our woman of the match, Riley Massey, with the tying assist and the goal. She now has a team-leading 4 on the year for the sophomore out of Ohio. Special thanks to Michaela Hartley, our camera operator tonight. We say thanks to you folks as well for tuning in. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week with more women's soccer action next week. When we're back on the Trojan Sports Network, this has been a presentation of women's soccer at Taylor University on the Trojan Sports Network. Until next time, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.